Hi, hello, and my name is Julia, and I could be your erotic photographer. And this video would be about photo shoot with hot and sexy models. And let me just tell you how I came up with this idea. Basically, I've started doing glamour, boudoir, nude photography, and I have received a big volume of inquiries and questions about erotic services during that photo shoot. And somehow every man who would contact me, they would assume that I am that photographer who also can jump in front of the camera and do the hand job or do the blow job. And that was kind of not something what I had in my mind with erotic photography. And I have realized that men who are asking for this service, they need help during the photo shoot. And what that means is that they would like someone else, okay, stimulate them. Okay, usually they're nervous, they're scared, and they don't know what to do. And they always would ask me, how is it you helping? What are you doing in the studio? Okay, and I'm always explaining that the studio provides this and this services, and that's what I do: preparation, dressing, undressing, direction, lighting, posing, advising, okay, experimenting with my ideas and with your ideas, shooting scenarios. Okay, something wrong with my internet here. Let me just quickly close the whole windows here because maybe it's too many open and I'm struggling here. So that's how I came up with this amazing idea that the models which I shoot for glamour photography can assist my clients. Okay. And when I was shooting those models, they were happy to try and they were happy to experiment. Okay. So at the beginning, I started doing this for free because I needed to test things. But I can tell you that the clients brought me on this idea that photo shoot with hot and sexy models would help them a lot, okay, because they want to shoot undressed, they want to have a playful shoot. The reason, the difference between being alone and on stage and undressing and being with someone or someone is helping you is huge difference. Okay, because the woman will be sexy, will be dressed in sexy underwear, right, or a dress, depending on of what they want. Okay, and then they will be performing some kind of how to say, body touches and hands on body and dancing and communication. The client automatically is relaxing and having a successful shoot. Okay, and every shoot with a hot sexy models I consider an easy shoot because the models do the whole work. Okay, what that means is that the client doesn't need to worry about his body, about his imperfections, about his erection, about the stimulation, about creating fantasies, because model will suggest, will pose, will move him around. Okay, the models are there to cover imperfections, okay, with their body, literally. Okay, so that we create amazing images or videos. And of course, every client, when it goes to a certain arousal mode or a certain arousal level, they would like something more. So that is why people are struggling during the photo shoot, because they put themselves into a sexual mood. Okay, and then what they will do with the standing, and there are many guys who are fine to walk out that way, having erection shorts and leave, but believe me, majority are not. Majority assume that erotic photography have to end somewhere and end with someone, and the end can be with just a model. It's, I didn't hear, that there are photographers who suck the cocks. I didn't hear that information from nowhere. Okay, do you? Okay, do you? I don't know who put them on this idea in general, but only men actually have this fantasy, have this idea that erotic photo shoot must provide erotic services. So that's how I start to experiment, because every time I got asked again and again, and I start responding that for this experience that you would like to try, there are models. Okay, there are models, and you can book models and you can get services, and this is an extra. okay, an extra. Sometimes, I was just, how to say, amazed how people think that they would pay for photography and get the free sex, okay. That's kind of like a very, strange approach to me. And by this day, I am, how to say, I am approached by men who think that I would provide a certain free services. For example, videos. Would you give free videos? Would you give this and this? And yesterday I was writing one guy and saying that I am not a charity organization. In the charity, you get things for free. And this is my job. And it took me years, to learn this. It took me years to get those skills and have wealth of experience. And I do not see myself why I should be working for free, especially when it's an, how to say, very complicated service, right? There are not many women who accept men in their studio, especially not many women who would lead and direct men through the shoot when they want to undress, okay, when they want to shoot nudes, when they want to shoot erection, when they want to shoot explicit shots, and when they want to experiment with fantasies, okay, erotic fantasies, any kind of fantasies. I do not have any limits to any fantasies, okay? So that's what I say. I don't know any, to be fair, okay? I even don't say many. I don't know any, okay? So that's how I've created this idea that the models who work in adult businesses and the clients who are asking for, how to say, adult services at the studio can meet each other, right? And I am that link who would direct them to one or another model. And because I work with those models, I know very well which one will be the best match, okay? So I had this very strange thing happen to me years and years ago. Like I say, I just had this idea with models, and I couldn't, how to say, understand how would I lead the shoot, how would I arrange the shoot. And I received an email from one guy, okay, asking to do a photo shoot for him, okay. And he attached his pictures, and I could see that he is model, and I could see that he is a professional model. But what was different about him, that I have seen him before, and I knew him, okay, and I knew that he is a movie actor, and he's a Hollywood star who was shooting at that time in London, okay, and I knew him, and I thought that someone is playing a joke on me, okay. I was thinking someone was playing a joke with me, and he wrote me, and then he called me, and we had a conversation with him. And the conversation was really strange. Like I am suggesting him to have a meeting in a public place, okay. The reason why, because I was scared, okay. I was scared. So I watched, when I was young, I don't know, teenager, I saw this horror movie when he was in this horror movie, and I was so terrified. After that movie, I never watched any horror at all, okay, at all. I was like seriously under impression. And at that time, when I was really young, I was just thinking, this is like, and he was playing like an alien or someone like that, very scary, right? And so, when it happened to me, I just thinking, oh my gosh, this is that guy, someone wants to, how to say, someone wants to harm me, to, you always think, or this is a bad joke, or what is this, and I could not believe that such person would get in touch with me, to be fair. So I had a very bad opinion about this guy, because he was a monster, he was a killer, he was from there, and that's how I seen the whole picture, and I didn't want to shoot him. But he was keep getting in touch with me, okay, and he was saying, I will come to your studio, I will come to your studio. And I was always saying no, no, if you want, we can meet in a public place, and then we will see if I'm going to shoot you, And he was like, I can't go into the public places, but I can do this and this. And I was like saying no. And then I was having lunch with my girlfriend, and I told her about this guy, and she says, Do you see that the email has his name and the surname? Let's Google it. Is this the real guy, you know? Somehow it did not occur to me to check this way, so we went and checked on Google, and Google knows everything. And yes, it was this guy, and I just decided to do it. Okay, I got back to him and I said that I did my homework. I checked you out, that you are genuine, and I said, okay, come to the studio. But I didn't want to shoot him alone. I say, I will bring a model. Are you happy to have a photo shoot with the model? And that's how it was the first time. Can you imagine? First time I'm shooting this guy, okay? And he was a big guy. Big guy, massive guy, okay? And I had this model. I really knew she was new in business. Okay, she was new. She had a lot of shoots with me, and I knew that she was like she was very young, very pretty. Okay, like wow, pretty. Okay, like wow. I knew that he would love it. Okay, and she was very innocent and very nice. And we didn't plan any sexual scenes at that time. It was just the first test that I did. And can you imagine? He came into the studio and he asked me, can he undress straight away? And I said, yes. Okay. And the model was a little bit late. Okay. And he came, he undressed. Okay. He says, I need to do some push ups. And he went there into the studio and started doing some push ups. Okay. To pump himself, right? Before the shoot. And I remember, this is the true story, you know. I remember I couldn't hold that the whole excitement inside me. Okay, my head was just like, you know. And I left the studio downstairs, and I remember like thinking like, wow, you know, like seriously, now I'm gonna have an amazing time and a great time. So this model arrived, and we started shooting. Okay, so this guy was naked, and the model was dressed. Okay, dressed, but in a sexy outfit. I think she did not even undress to the lingerie, the first model, right? I don't think she undressed. And so how to say, what is the difference between working with such people, you know, which I consider are qualified as a professional models? They will mesmerize you. They have such a charisma. They have such a performance. They have such a big aura that you don't need to tell them anything. Okay. Every moment, every second, you know, it's like on money. It's like value. It's like, I was just thinking, I am making an amazing, it's not like amazing, is a gallery, you know, is exhibition content, you know, that you can actually, how to say, go wild around the world with this photo shoot. Okay, so I knew that I'm making this, and so we experimented. He was the coolest thing ever. He was charming, he was respectful, he was polite, he was funny. I had such a high vibrations that you can't not believe this. And imagine if it happened so many years ago, you can feel the way I am excited about this, the way I talk about this, right? So we had a shoot, and this girl as well, you know, she was she was under the spell, under his spell. Okay, I could see that he did something to her. Okay, so we had a shoot, we tried many things. Okay, we experimented. He was naked. Okay, and he was one of those guys who was really confident about himself. And the reason why he was confident about himself, not only that he achieved something in life, right, but also that he had a huge size. Okay, like seriously a huge size. And at that moment I was just thinking, these are the most perfect images. So I shot a lot of erection shots. I shot a lot of nude shots. Okay, nude art shots. We experimented with him a lot of BDSM actually, and fetish fantasy, right? And we did something what I never done with anyone. Okay, I would you would not believe this what I shot. Okay, I would, you know, there are kitchen tools when you hit the meat with the hammer, with the metal hammer. Okay, that's what we did. Okay, he wanted this experience that this model would hit his willy with this metal hammer. Okay, and from the whole force, and I had videos of this. Okay. No, seriously. Then we were penetrating, and we were doing like a lot of things. Okay, he was up for it. Okay, and for me it was fairly new experience. Okay, this model is happy to assist. I am just filming, and we are making up, during this creative process. One idea goes to the other, I don't know. Okay, but he arrived around 8, 9 in the evening, and the photo shoot was finished. Oh my gosh, I can tell you this situation. So photo shoot was finished around 1 o'clock. Okay. And and he lived in the center of London, and I said that I will give him a ride. Okay, we finished a photo shoot. I got into my car. Okay, but before we started photo shoot, I had few vodka shots. Okay, I had few vodka shots because I was very nervous. Okay, I had few vodka shots, and in those few hours, this vodka should have been, how to say, dissolved from my body. Okay, but what happened was that I am driving a big car. Okay, like a Jeep size, right? And I was sitting in front, and they were like passengers in the back. Okay, and there was, I don't know, 2 a.m. in London. The streets were empty, and in L squared area. Okay, what happened was that, there was no one there, and he said straight away, no, no, you are not on this road, you need to take the side road because we're taking left. Okay, and I checked my rear mirror in the back, and I couldn't see anyone. Okay, but that moment because I don't know, that moment I just looked down, and I was changing the gear. Okay, and I just thought i will I will go back because the car arrived on that street. I thought I will just go back quickly from the fourth force and just change the line and go behind that car. And the moment when I bent down, actually the car came behind me. And I didn't look at that moment when I changed the gear into my rear mirror. And from the whole force, I fucked into that car, okay, from the back. And I was all in shock. I have I have these passengers, okay? And he was like saying, what happened? What happened? And I was like, I don't know. And can you imagine, instead of the putting, I already been in a shock, adrenaline, everything. Okay, this is London. Okay, I just had, in the evening some vodka, and I'm driving these passengers. And instead of the going into the front, I somehow, from these nerves, I somehow went to second time to the back gear, and I hit that car a second time. Okay. And that's it. And he was like, stop, stop, get out of the car. I get out of the car. And he went out of the car, and I could just see this passenger, the other car was the red Toyota or something. Okay. And I'm just standing, and this guy came out, and he said, what have I done? Why did you, like, and I was just standing like that in the street, 2 a.m. I'm thinking, what I'm going to do this. But guess what his guy did? Okay. This guy came out, and he said, stand there. This guy came out, and imagine this big, huge guy coming out of my car. Okay. And he's going to that driver who just been in an accident with me. Okay, he's going, and he's talking to him, and he's checking his car, he's checking my car. My bumper is hanging. Okay, so I how to say, I can see that he's putting it slightly back. I don't know what he talked to him. How did he, how did he manage the situation? But he's showing me that get into the car. I went into the car. This girl model is absolutely speechless. Okay. I am like in shock. I am like in shock. He's coming into the car and he's saying, "It's okay, I solved everything." And there was no car, all the cars left. Okay, it just, we are in the middle, like having an accident. And then I'm driving to the side, like he said, and there was this, he was staying there, and he was like saying, "Would you like to come and have some tea?" And I said, I said, "What tea?" I said, "Go and sleep." And I'm like in complete shock. I didn't know what happened. But this model was amazed with the photo shoot. This guy was amazed with the photo shoot. I don't think he met anyone, I would just say in London like me. Okay, and the next day he is calling and saying he would like to have another shoot. And he says that he's finishing filming, blah blah blah, and his limo will come in that time, and he will bring us. And can I arrange another shoot? And I had another model which was more older, okay, which was a brunette. Okay, so the first one was a blonde, and the second was a brunette. And then I decided that with that brunette, she had a tantric masseuse experience. Okay, I've decided, because I have different kind of models. I have just a model, like girl next door, which wasn't popular. Okay, I introduced, and I had many models who would just not do any sexual services but just be around naked men. I have just few shoots like that. Actually, guys would like model to be, sexy and undressed and sexually active. Okay, so the second model I've invited, who was a tantric model, and she was tall, beautiful, natural boobs. Okay, she was so pretty, and I knew her very well, so she was comfortable with me. And so this guy arrived, and we had a second shoot. Okay, and the second shoot was a total sexual shoot. Okay, they were rolling around together, they were cuddling, they were, body to body, they were doing a lot of shaves, he was like, flipping her in the air. He was, that's the whole photo shoot, he was just lifting her. She was very tall, and so on. But the whole photo shoot was amazing. And of course, she started the shoot dressed, and he started the shoot naked. She was also mesmerized by him. Okay, she was mesmerized by him. And what happened was that, I can tell you straight away, okay, those both models finished shoot very late, 2 p.m. So I did not allow them to go home, and I let them sleep, at my place. And so they both had a stay over. Okay, they both had the same dream. The next morning they would tell me what kind of a sexual fantasy dream the whole night they were experiencing and dreaming. Okay, and the next model was much more, I have to say, into a sexual activities, right? So we did a lot of sexual scenes, and with that model we didn't do any fetish or BDSM stuff. Okay, but we did a lot of tantric stuff. Okay, a lot of tantric stuff and sensual videos. And he turned that model on. The sexual energy was so thick that I could feel it in the air. Okay, that's how people can produce sexual energy. Okay, that you could just sense this. Okay, and what happened to me when I watched the footage afterwards, this is the first time when I've experienced such a high sexual energy drive, that it was such on peak that I couldn't edit content. Okay, I had to have a break because I was going turn on. Okay, and I couldn't stay long, and I couldn't. It's not that I was getting turned on during the shoot, but that sexual energy just did something to me. So it took for me a really long time to process all the footage. I can tell you that both models were stunned from that man, from his physique, of course, but from his mental confident state. Okay, they both fancied him, they both would like a romance with him, they both would like something more, they both had the same erotic fantasies during the night. And that's what I am telling you at this very moment, that sexual energy is real, okay? That people do not know how to create it and reach certain peaks, that they think that this is happening only during intercourse, okay, or during actually having sex, okay. But when I see that shoot, the moment two people went into the zone and start feeling each other and touching each other, that's when it start developing. And that's when these, you know, when you have a singers and the goosebumps coming, this is the energy translated, no matter if you are in a concert or no matter that you are watching through the TV, okay, you can still sense the energy vibration on your skin, okay, on your body. It gives you an effect. You do not see it, but it's there, okay. And some people can't even sense that, okay. So when it comes to a sexual energy, it's the same. For many people it is a mystery how to create it. They do not practice this and do not know um, how to bring this out, because in the childhood we were suppressed, right? We were suppressed. We were, how to say, put in a position that this is all dirty, that this is all filthy, that this is not supposed to be, you know, in your life, that this is not how you would practice this, you know, don't touch yourself, don't touch anyone. And just the society, right, brings those blocks on you, and you are being, how to say, a slave, wanting the whole life to set yourself free, you know. And that's what my photo shoot does to people when they actually, through that, I'm not straight away, okay, the models like that, like I just told you, professionals, they can create this energy instantly, okay. And it's not only that they sharing it with their model or with their partner, okay. Everyone who are in the room would feel that energy, everyone, right? And that's why I believe that the footage that I will be editing today, okay, will be that photo shoot, which I never showed to anyone, okay, never showed, but he allowed me, okay, just remove his specific marks that he would be not recognizable, of course, no face, right? But like I said, this is a very special content that I made the first time when I was experimenting with models. Okay. And this feeling that you can experience with people, it's like a blessing, because you know that this is real. Okay. You know that this is possible, that two people can create certain vibrations. Okay. And that they can indulge in and give themselves to that energy, and I am just witnessing. That is why I don't want to shoot porn, because it's an empty game, okay. I you know, there were clients who would book and order a photo shoot with models. They would not use my models, okay, they would bring their models. But the photo shoot, you know, when you bored during the photo shoot, when you do not feel anything, when you do not see the point, okay, when you would just film because, you know, you're doing the frame, you're doing the light, but people are not creating anything. Yes, they creating the footage, okay. When the guy will bring the model, most likely he would shoot the footage for adult content, and he would share and he would use it, and he would want to, how to say, take uh, get the income from that, right? But that's the difference between people creating real vibrations and when people are staging and faking it, okay. And unfortunately we have not seen many real content, okay, because normal people who are making love and doing it not for the money, okay, for the different reasons, they do not post it, okay. And you would, and in general, this is prohibited, okay, information, prohibited visual, is it the photographs or videos, at that time. Now it's more and more sexual and erotic stuff coming out, and you see everywhere. And the models, actually, they're doing a great job. Okay, they are seriously feeling it, seriously making it. They know what works, okay, on this market, and they know how to present themselves. I would think that the models who are experienced in adult business, they know themselves very well, okay? And that's why guys are into this, because it is a real information. Yes, they're doing this for money, but their sexuality or their representation is quite genuine, okay? They do want to share their body, and they do want to share their energy, okay? I am not how to say, recommending to start from that. I do not recommend to go into the empty explorations. Okay, I always suggest to have raw and real experiences with your partner, with your friend, or even with the model. It's going to be real, because you would understand what's happening within you. Okay, you would understand your abilities. Okay, you will see the possibilities during the shoot, right? And you would be able to experiment with the things that probably it's just in your fantasy. Okay, and that's the most important thing. We are here to understand who we are, understand what we want, what we like, and sexual experiences are how to say, undeveloped, undeveloped. No one actually discussing this very much and openly. Why? Because you would need a very brave people to do that. Okay, there is how to say, if I will come from my perspective, okay, and from my experience, I would say that the division, what you will receive from talking about this, working on this content, and sharing this, would be huge, because there are a lot of people who are against anything what is sexual, okay, anything what is real. People have different limitations related to their religion, related to the places that they came from, okay, related to their families. And in general, there are a lot of negative experiences, towards sexuality. There are women who do not know how to reach the orgasm. So what to talk about this sexual turn on thing? They do not understand what's happening with their bodies, as well as men, not able to control their erection. They think that, they have just one and only erection, but erection depends on the stimulation, okay, and on the blood flow, okay, and the level of your how to say, emotional and mental state. Okay, if something blocking you, you will get the lower flow. And that's why I would like models to help people who are not confident in themselves. Okay, they are not confident in their performance. Okay, and they are not confident how long they would last, what will happen, how it will happen, and in general embarrassed about the whole idea. Okay, they are constantly holding back in life, and they are constantly feeling, how to say, unsafe, insecure, unsure. And the men, I would say, with the lower confidence grow, not all, but how to say, they grow overweight. you know they, like I mentioned, they grow the armor, okay, so that no one can hurt them. Okay, and with this armor, the penis looks smaller. In many cases. Okay, I'm not saying that how to say, majority. There are always, I'm just saying in general from my experience, and so on and so on. And so this file, which I'm going to prepare, I think I'm going to share as a gallery or as a blog, and I will post it somewhere, maybe in my post. Okay, so very quickly, if you would like to give me questions about photoshoot with hot and sexy models, you can do so, because I am online now. Let me quickly see what is here. Okay, do you have any questions? What's happening in here? I can't go and check it. Okay, so let me just quickly explain how the photo shoot with hot and models work, so that people will know that the model would like to get a deposit, okay, for a session, right? That the models are paid in full on the day, okay? That the models can agree with you to any scenarios, but that of course depends on the model and on the model's experience, okay, and on the model services, right? But I am here to advise and direct people to the right model that they would like to try. The biggest mistake probably with men choosing the models are that they are gonna find the girl of their dream, okay? That they would prefer looks over the service, okay? That's so true. And they even, you know how to say, they are even because I had situations when I knew that this model performance will be much better than the other model, okay, and he knows this, I am telling him, but that model looks better for him, more nicer. He doesn't care even about the service. And once I asked one guy, okay, and he didn't say anything like negative or so, because the girl was very sensual, very pretty, okay, very pretty, very beautiful, okay, natural, and so on and so on. But she was shy. She didn't want to do many things, okay, and you can't change, right? If you book a sensual model, right, for example, a tantric model, you most likely do not get after, you know, to try fetish or BDSM fantasy. They are not able, okay? They are not able. They are not able to switch into dominant position if they are submissive, okay? That, you know, you understand what I'm saying, okay? And very often guys who would arrive to the studio and they would like to try a erotic photo shoot, then the appetite grows and they want to try many things, okay, many things. More than more than I, you know how to say, more than I agree with them, okay, and that is fine. You can change, you can add, you can extend. But you see, when you're extending time, you are paying model extra. Very often men, it's not that they do not respect models, okay? They are trying to negotiate a very, how to say, minimum wages for such a unique and exclusive experience. And that is why I feel, how to say, disrespected in kind of the way, okay? Instead of paying a prime dollar, you know, for this type of a shoe, they're trying to add more services, you know, include and not to pay, or they're trying to have more time, you know, or they're trying to cheat in any way. Okay, for example, I remember one guy, you know, one guy had a photo shoot with the model, and the model is telling me, okay, that he already came, but he's just trying to pretend that he didn't, okay, and he want to do it a second go, a second time, okay. You know, guys trying to be clever, but when you are shooting with the adult model, they know the situation, okay. They know the situation. Usually guys who have the problem, and this wasn't the guy, you know, sometimes the guys are so excited and they have erection, and then they would come in the first 5 or 10 minutes. You need to say this, right, that I'm, you know, will be very quick at the start, and you can have a session. But there are guys who think they're very clever, that they can extend their time, that they can extend their adventure, you know, that they can cheat somehow, woman. Yeah, you can't. Okay, we know, and and that's what it is. You know, the model will always will say to me how it was, and I am recording this. Okay, so I am not very much into their service to one another, right? But then I can track on the, you know, on the footage. No, seriously. If I'm recording everything, okay, do you think I would miss that? No, I'm just not looking very much because I'm concentrated on the light, on the posing, on the framing, okay? I'm concentrated on the different things, okay? right? And we had at that time we had a protective intercourse, okay? And during that time, I am not, how to say, I didn't notice, to be fair, but the girls, they will, so, be honest, be honest. It's just like, how to say, the that's where the cowardness coming from, okay? That's what these, how to say, trying, I know some people getting embarrassed about things, right? And they don't want to say this, okay? And even they want to reveal this and so on. I didn't bring this up, and I didn't want him to feel somehow different, right? But we had the conversation and I knew then, right? So who are you cheating here? You know? So that was a very short introduction to my new file, which I'm going to work, okay, on. And like I said, I have shot one professional model with two females, okay. And those two photo shoots were absolutely different because the models were different and we had a different vibe, different fantasies, and models suggested different things, okay. And you would see that those two photo shoots look apart, okay. So I am that kind of a photographer who doesn't do the same thing with every person. I'm making art and I very much rely on the energy I am working with and with people who I'm working with. Okay, this is the biggest probably goal for me, to work with right people. Okay, because only with honest and, how to say, positive vibration I can create a certain content. Okay, the art that I want. Do you understand that I would not consider art when I'm making porn? Just because the energy is not there. Okay? For you who have no idea and clue what I'm talking about, maybe there will be no difference, and your eye is not, how to say, adjusted to this. But because I'm constantly working with sexual fantasies, with sexual energies, and I try to reveal them, I try to, how to say, to preserve them as much as possible, I do feel and I do see the difference, and the difference is massive. And I think that people should be introduced to the real sexual vibrations and sexual energies. And the sexual energy is a very creative force, okay. And for some people who do not understand why they need to know how to make it, is because this is how you express yourself, this is how you find the true match, okay, that person who is connecting with you and being with you, you sharing those sexual experiences with that person, okay. Because when you cheat, okay, when you pretend, when you're trying to be someone else, okay, and you are out there, you most likely match with the wrong person. I was doing a dating photography, and my dating photography was based exactly on this formula, okay. I was telling to everyone that this is not about how you look, okay. This is not about you. People meet you by the sexuality, okay. They would look at you, and if they found you sexy, okay, that's when they will be interested and attracted. If you're not sexy, no one will, make out with you, right? Of course, again, there are exceptions. There are guys who don't care and look at the meat, and they don't care about sexual energies. They, some care about the numbers, some care about the countries they visited in those girls' vaginas, okay. Some care about, their own physical health or whatever experience that they're getting, okay. But I'm talking about connecting with sexual energy, because we all want to have that chemistry, right? That spark, that feeling. But without a sexual stimulation or intercourse, you know that you are connected with that person in that specific way, okay. and that's it. And that's how you get into, how to say, get into that directory that you need. Okay, there are a lot of people living unhappy life. Okay, they living with their friends in the friend zone, and they do not feel sexual energy towards themselves, towards each other, right? So I'd like to talk about that more, and I would like to reveal many things about erotica, about sexual energy, and about how important it is, how to make it, how to experiment with it, and what it does to you, what it does to your life, okay, and what it does to your relationships, okay. So thank you so much for watching, and the link probably will be attached to this video. You would need to give me a day or two, okay, if I'm gonna be honest with you, because I shot a lot of material. I probably have 1,000 pictures to look at. No, 2,000 maybe. Okay, so I have a lot of pictures to look at to choose the best. There will be a lot of erection shots, okay, there, of course. Oh, I can tell you another very funny situation about this guy's cock, you know. I had this old website, okay, and that old website had a banner, okay, and I thought that, okay, I need to attract more male guys, more male auditorium, and on this banner, I would put this guy's cock, okay. And I remember he is texting me saying, "Oh, I can see you put me on the website, and it's like so cool and whatever." And I'm, yes, it's amazing, and that, you know. And then through some time, I start receiving less and less inquiries for a man photography, and I couldn't understand why. And then there was few guys called me, and he said, "Well, I'm not so big, you know, so you shooting just huge cocks, and because I am not that huge, you know, I'm not qualified." Okay, and then I understand that this actually move, you know, this actually image slowed down my business because it put in a discomfort a lot of men. Okay, so I removed all information. Again, I've realized that I need to put a small cock so that everyone will feel adequate, you know. Just follow the public rules, you know. It's not about your size in general. If you would know the woman, it's not about your size, it's about your sexuality and how you make that woman feel, okay? To start with. But men don't know this information, okay? Then don't know this. You can make that woman turn on so much that she doesn't need a very big one. Although women, to be fair, they are creatures which will prefer a mix of the sizes. That's why this toy industry is so popular, so big. It doesn't mean that she wants to have a big dildo every day. No, maybe once a month, you know. So she doesn't need a huge to live with her, right? You just use, you know, tools when she is that in that mood. And what kind of a mood, you know? You follow the moon, okay? Woman very much attached to that planet, okay? And her mood is also swings, and you know that there are other cycles in there running, okay? And that's all determine her interest, okay? And determine her how to say sexual wishes and adventures for that time, okay. So men in general need to understand many things about sexuality, about themselves, and they would live more happier life, okay, and be much more calmer and more satisfied and feel enough about themselves. And usually, when I have a photo shoot with men, that's what they see after they receive the images. Okay, because when you make an artwork, okay, and this is looks like art, it is art. Okay, and it is very hard to dislike art. Okay, that's why I am on this path. Okay, people who have psychological traumas, okay, and all those traumas happen in childhood. You want this or you don't want this, you know, that many things happen to us. I didn't see a person who didn't have a trauma. Okay, it just, as a personality, they can handle it in a different way. Most likely they would hide it and run from this, and it would be stuck somewhere in one of the archives folders. Okay, but it will be there inside you, and people are not ready to face it. Okay, they're not ready. So in a photo shoot they have no choice, it is inevitable. Okay, because I provoke people and I put them in the situations that they have not been before, and that's when they get to meet the true, how to say, the true you. Okay. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you all having a great day, and it was lovely to see all of you. If you would like to have more videos, please comment me what you would like to, that I can speak about boudoir, I can speak about glamour. Okay, do you know what is the difference between boudoir and glamour? You can ask me and I will tell you. I will make a separate video and I will explain you what is the difference. I can speak about nude photography. I can speak about explicit photography. Explicit photography, do you know the difference between nude and explicit photography? Ask those questions if you want, okay? And then I can speak about erotic videos, okay? I can speak about singles who shooting for dating. I can speak about solo men shoots. I can speak about women solo shoots. And of course, I can speak about couples and couples who experiment with models. It means threesome and cocktail fantasy. So I have like quite a big spectrum of photo shoots that I can talk about, and I am professional at, and that's where you can ask. Of course, you can ask all the questions possible about models. Okay, if you like, models are male and female I work with. I had some trans models, but somehow psychologically I don't think these people are very much stable, they're more like a mood people. I have models who I rely on, okay, but I have requests, many requests from couples on that type of model, but I just decided that I will shoot now specifically with men and women models. Okay, if any interest in that, you can just leave me a comment, right? And I will reply. I'm reading more all the comments in my time when I am available. Okay, so thank you so much for watching for now, and I hope very soon I will attach this link. I can't use my website, actually. Let me just tell you this, because my website contains nudity. Okay, I can't use anywhere on social media, even add this as a link. Okay, because it leads there, right? So I'm using another website. I will see if that's possible, to do. And also I am planning to change my channel because it's being affected. Okay, I was hiring a social media assistant, and assistant did a lot of mistakes. I let people to experiment. Only by experimenting you do mistakes, and you find the true, how to say, path. But you see, with Facebook or with Instagram, you do 3 mistakes and they will put you in a blacklist, and my channels are under the red flag, and I need a clean history to be able to do something more with that channel. Okay, so I will be inviting you all to move from this place to somewhere else where I'm going to create new. Okay, and like always, I will be talking just about erotica and how I'm making this and what I'm making and I will be introducing you. Yes, if you like to go on my website, it's not really now ready because I just started again the renovation. I had a new inspiration through this month, and I realized that I need to change everything because my website does look like porn. Okay, a little bit. It does. Okay. I couldn't see this before, but now I see it. Okay. And it does. So I will change it a little bit with the arty twist. Okay. I will just post there are a lot of artwork and I consider it as art, but I will just change it up. But if you want to go and see, this is very simple. This is Julia Winter Studio. Okay, you can give me some advice, maybe. Okay, you just go and look and see, Julia, that's not right, or maybe change that and change that. I would like to hear that, okay, as well, because I am the one who actually, you see, with this adult content, to make websites, it is a very pricey thing. So I learned to work on the WordPress, but the WordPress is very easy to hack, and a lot of websites were under. Okay, especially with spams and so on. So I'm using now a different platform. So I am the one who is designing and how to say, doing everything on the website. I am the one. Okay, so I can work on a lot of programs, and of course I can create lovely websites, and this website is made by me, all the websites which I have. I've actually terminated two WordPress website because they were drowning in Viagra spams and so on and so on. Okay, if you there will be always the competitors who would want that for you. So I hope you like this video, little bit, different flashback into my starting point shooting with the models. And yes, I had a very big lesson. I have a very big lesson, and that lesson was not to make an opinion about someone who you do not know and seen on the TV, in the movies, okay, even if they are playing a horrible characters, and I mean like negative characters, they can actually be the loveliest and the sweetest and the nicest people to be around and with, and they can inspire you and they can show you the real and true talent, okay, and execution of your ideas. Okay, so thank you so much for now.